Hi everyone, I hope you're all doing great today. Wow, what an interesting time to be alive. So I think it was just yesterday, the news broke that Joe Biden, America's president, is down with COVID. And I'm wondering, wow, down with COVID? I mean, this is a guy who's been vaccinated like 4 times and he even got his booster shot. So what's all that story we were told about when you have your COVID vaccination, you're not going to be able to receive it again or transmit to someone and all of that? I just, don't you get confused by all of this going on? How can a man who had 4 vaccinations and even got boosted still come down with COVID again? What are these guys up to? You know, so I just saw that and I was like, okay, so what have we not seen before? I mean, I'm already tired of hearing all kinds of inconsistencies from the media and from the global elite, you know, and so this one is just one of them. Now, this is coming only a day or 2 after Joe Biden allegedly had a slip of tongue and said that he has cancer. Are you kidding me? I mean, Joe said he has cancer, and even if truly he doesn't have cancer, we have seen Joe Biden in the last few weeks and months, and there's only one conclusion that everybody who had seen Joe Biden would come to. It is that this guy is not well. He is sick. He is old. He is incompetent. He is aloof. He is just not present. In fact, I have a video I'm going to share with us of a guy who chronicled all of the stuff that Joe Biden has shown our world that I know no other president, no other person could have gotten away with these things. And maybe when you watch that, you can understand why the Democrats are making plans right now, according to what I just heard, to get him out of office.
There's something wrong with Joe. The evidence is just overwhelming. And I'm sorry, I'm not making fun of dementia or anything like that. But for the political leader of the free world, it's just getting really awkward.
And some of the when the political coverage,
What do we do now? What am I doing now?
Finelli, excuse me, Finel, and what am I doing here?
A question that has baffled some of the greatest minds on planet Earth.
Well, folks, you know, you don't have to stand every time I hear Hail to the Chief, wonder where the hell is he? Took me a long while. You think I'm joking? I'm not. Turn around and where's the president?
Some of this is actually quite sad. It's almost like it's a cry for help.
She's fine.
It's me. That's not together.
This doctor talked about signs of dementia back in 2020.
Hello, this is Dr. Grande. Does he have some type of dementia, or is he exhibiting early warning signs of dementia?
And although the doc was quite skeptical at the time, look at what he said and compare it to how Biden has behaved since.
Memory problems really stand out, especially short-term recall.
And we're also joined today by Larson and I know.
Have you decided, sir, whether to go to Saudi Arabia?
No, not yet. No. There happens to be a larger meeting taking place in Saudi Arabia. That's the reason I'm going.
It's that short-term recall that is much more noticeable in terms of looking at symptoms that point to dementia.
And the president of South Africa, as I said. Oh, you did? I did not. I did.
Next, we see difficulty concentrating, losing track of the topic.
You like to be able to. Anyway, America is a nation that can be defined in a single word. I was in the the foothills of the Himalayas with Xi Jinping. Well, look.
Getting lost when outside the house. Sometimes people also get lost in their own house. This is considered a more severe symptom.
I get up in the morning and look at Jill and say, where the hell are we?
getting lost.
That's the President of the United States in his own house.
Sometimes people also get lost in their own house. Other symptoms include going off on tangents, being repetitious, having difficulty finding the right word.
All men and women created by go. You know the thing.
The administration I served in last.
He forgot Barack Obama's name.
We have a conversion of the road to Damascus. Because now you say, by the way, are you going to stick with the president on the following president, the last guy, on this issue?
He's saying that it was my boss.
Confabulation. This is when somebody has gaps in their memory and their brain populates memories into those gaps. Now, these memories are from other events, so the stories that they tell don't make any sense.
I was doing Villanova's commencement, and one of my nuns from school was getting her doctorate degree. I presented it to her, and she said, that was pretty good, Joe.
The president didn't make a commencement speech.
No, but let me talk for a second. I'm a professor.
So confabulation is considered a fairly severe symptom.
Getting a lot of reaction after saying he used to drive an 18-wheeler. During a visit to a Mack truck assembly plant yesterday. Well, the White House is struggling to defend the claim since driving a big rig requires a special license for one, and while there is nothing in Biden's history to suggest he's ever actually done this.
We also see difficulties with agitation, anxiety, paranoia.
Fewer, not more, fewer. What do you do over there? So when did I say I was confident?
You said in the next 6 months.
I said.
Read what I said and tell me.
Read the polls, Jack. You guys are all the same. Lost your child. You lost your child. It's gone.
I don't know if Biden has dementia or not.
The doctor said that in 2020, but as you've seen, the last 2 years of Biden's antics somewhat fit the bill. Jill Biden says
it's ridiculous
to question Joe Biden's cognitive abilities.
That's ridiculous.
Really? Is that why you have to tell him what to say when he forgets to say God bless America on July the 4th?
Thanks. Okay, and
God bless America. Thank you.
thanks.
God bless America.
Okay.
Or you have to remind him who he's running for president against.
What kind of country we're going to be? 4 more years of Georgia, going to find ourselves in a position where 4 more years of Georgia,
You know, a lot of times when you're around somebody who's in cognitive decline, you find yourself trying to help them with the sentence, trying to help them complete it and saying, oh, no, that's not what you really mean. Let me help you complete the sentence.
Georgia, he's going to...
Come on.
Looking for my...
Ladies and gentlemen, the vice president of the...
Now it's all starting to make sense.
Last week, President Harris and I...
Biden was even photographed holding a cheat sheet given to him by his advisors instructing him on how to enter a room, say hello, sit down, talk to other people and then depart. Why on earth does the President of the United States need an instruction manual on how to behave like a normal human? That's like something you give to a nervous 5-year-old who's about to do his first elementary school class presentation. He also keeps reading teleprompter cues as if they're part of the speech.
Because of the actions we've taken, things have begun to change. End of quote. In the past 3 weeks, ballot is consistently higher than the percentage of the men who do so. End of quote. Repeat the line. Women are not without electoral and or political or maybe personal.
And whose idea was it for him to recite the acronym of the alphabet, people?
Combat discrimination against LGBTQI, plus.
I'll let him off on that occasion. No one knows the full extent of that one. Oh yeah. And he's still doing that weird sniffing thing. You'd think one of his advisors would have a word. I mean, correct me if I'm wrong, but it seems doubtful that smelling children in public is going to convince those swing voters.
What must be what?
My butt's been wiped.
What must be what?
But it takes on an altogether more serious tone when some of these verbal gaffes appear to be declarations of war.
It sounded like you told U.S. troops they were going to Ukraine. It sounded like you said it was possible the U.S. would use a chemical weapon, and it sounded like you were calling for regime change in Russia, and we know...
None of the three occurred.
None of the three occurred?
None of the three.
And you're going to see when you're there, and some of you have been there.
For God's sake, this man cannot remain in power.
Uncle Joe's cognitive degradation isn't just some hyper-partisan Republican talking point. The Democratic establishment must know. It just doesn't seem like he's gonna make it, and they're already making moves to have him replaced. The New York Times has written 6 hit pieces against Biden in the last month alone. According to an NYT poll, only 26% of Democratic voters say the party should re-nominate him in 2024. Listen, when even the regime loyalists at CNN are laughing at your poll numbers, you know you're in big trouble.
Primary voters want a different nominee. 2/3. If you break it down by age, 94% of Democratic primary voters under the age of 30, 94% say they don't want Biden. That is a stunning number.
Yes.
But as with everything else, Biden just seems confused by the whole thing.
That poll showed that 92% of Democrats, if I ran, would vote for me.
A majority of Democrats say they don't want you to run again in 2024.
Left-wing group Roots Action has just taken out a 6-figure ad buy in an attempt to block Biden's 2024 nomination. 15% of his staff have also fled the sinking ship.
And that loss is far greater than former President Obama and Trump. Biden losing 15% in his first year in office. Trump lost 1% by his point, and Obama 4%.
They're also bizarrely acting in public as if Biden isn't even there.
Shunned. Nobody would talk to him. So Biden wandered off looking vacant as a crowd formed around a former president, Barack Obama, who was obviously deeply grateful for the attention. And then it got worse. It got much more poignant than that. Watch Biden try to horn in on the conversation swirling around Obama. Everyone involved in that conversation, including Kamala Harris, who supposedly works for Biden, ignored Biden completely. Biden desperately tried to get Obama's attention. He puts his hand on Obama's shoulder. He even calls him Barack, like they're friends. But Obama blows him off. He acts like Biden's not even there. Ask yourself if you have ever in your life seen anything sadder than this. Make it stop. It's awful.
There was even speculation that the White House were considering using a Biden hologram to deliver speeches. If anything, Trump supporters should be Biden's biggest advocate, because in a public forum, he'd get crushed. I mean, Biden was already ropey in 2020. They had to keep him in a basement and put him to bed in the afternoon. Can you imagine him in debates 2 years from now? He can barely string a sentence together as it is.
You don't see this? Like, you guys out of your fucking mind? You don't see that this guy can't talk right anymore.
Yeah. Over 50% of this country does not believe he's cognitively fit to be our commander-in-chief.
They'd be better off giving Hunter Biden his crack pipe and putting him up on stage to debate Trump. At this point, he'd probably be more coherent than his father.
Chocolate chip.
I actually believe that they've always known that Joe Biden was not going to last till the end of his first term in office. I think Joe Biden was just acting as a placeholder for the Obamas, okay? And that's why at the end of the day, as we now speak about who will take over from Joe Biden, we are mentioning Michelle Obama, we are mentioning Hillary Clinton, we are mentioning Kamala Harris. Kamala Harris was told that she was going to take over if anything happens to Biden. But then it turned out that Kamala Harris now being sidelined. I explained this in one of the videos I posted recently. So what is happening is that at the end of the day, if care is not taken before midterms this year, Joe Biden may be kicked out of office, and either Kamala Harris finds a way to take over if they finally change their mind over her, or you're going to have Michelle Obama or Hillary Clinton taking over from Biden. And when that happens, if you thought that you saw a weakened American economy, if you thought that you saw hardship under Joe Biden, if you thought that you saw high gas prices and empty shelves under Joe Biden, wait till you see what happens when the next person who comes to take over eventually takes over from him. You see, there's another video again I'm going to show you that will help you to understand what is planned in the long run. Everything you see happening is part of a gigantic, monstrous plan to crumble the global economy and to throw humanity into the kind of suffering that many of us had never envisaged or imagined possible. That's why you're going to see so much scarcity of food, scarcity of diesel and diesel oil, scarcity of almost everything that you need to make your life worth living on earth. There will be scarcity of all those things because a totalitarian regime is about to be born. It's actually been born already. That's why Joe Biden is about to declare a climate emergency. Why? Because there is heat waves all over Europe and America. You want to declare climate emergency. Americans are already suffering blackouts like Nigeria. Can you imagine? In parts of Texas, Houston, Dallas, I saw the tweet, I shared it with people. They're having blackouts. And Biden is proposing to start building like community cooling centers where people can go to get cooled from the heat wave. You know, the heat wave is such a big deal right now in Europe. Fire is burning everywhere. And so it's an emergency. So Biden wants to use his executive powers to impose a climate emergency and then stop the drilling and all those other basic things that people have always been used to that actually helps life on earth. They want you to embrace your green energy. And I have that clip coming. I'm going to share that after this video. You're going to see that video so you can see the plans they have for humanity. Have you started learning how to save your money? Have you started learning how to stock up on food? Have you started learning how to do without certain things? Are you learning? Are you learning? They want to take us back to Stone Age. There are programs on National Geographic Channel, Live Free or Die. These things are telling you how to survive in some of the most difficult circumstances and situations. These things are not by accident. They are pointers to what is coming. That's why when you watch this other video I'm about to show you on diesel and diesel oil and why the scarcity is going to stay for a very long time, it's going to be like almost another lockdown. Why you watch that, I want you to begin to think, what can I do to adjust properly so that when what is about to happen happens, it will not affect me as gravely as it would have if I had not prepared.